Hey, welcome to another Businessology lesson. Today we're going to be tackling this question: when is it time to do an internal financial review of your books and your numbers and your financial records and things like that? And of course, I do this for a living, so I would say do it all the time. You should be doing it now. But of course, that's not what I'm saying, and sometimes people aren't doing that. So we find that designers who start out or agency owners who start out and it's just them, a lot of times your accounting falls by the wayside, and it makes sense. That can be something that happens early on as you're trying to grow. You're trying to produce revenue and actually make enough revenue to pay yourself so you can commit full time to this work. So accounting goes by the wayside. Now, there comes a point when you're not working on your numbers, or you're not displaying them enough to know what you're doing or what you're doing wrong, right? So at that point, a lot of people are living out of their bank account. And if there's money in the bank, that they think everything's okay. But that may not be true. Let me give you one example. You might be in a loss situation, but what's happening, you're doing something called kiting. So you got money in from a client and you spend it all really with your contractors. They're helping you maybe at this stage. And from a profit and loss perspective, you're showing a loss. But if you just got a new contract that's pretty big and somebody just deposited 25 grand into your bank account, you could look at your bank account on a certain day and see money in the bank and think I'm doing fine, when really you keep spending too much labor to perform this revenue, to support this revenue, so to speak. So a bank account is not a perfect reflection of your profit. Sometimes it can be that, sometimes it's not. So that's something to keep in mind. So one thing you can do is work on your bookkeeping. That's really the first thing you go after, right? So if it's just you, sole proprietor, and you're growing your agency, the first thing you need to do is really get your records in order, because you need to be looking at your profit and loss statement at least monthly. And a good bookkeeper or an accountant is going to help you do that. It is an investment, and that is an investment in knowledge. And so we have to tell our clients this a lot of times. A lot of people make that first investment in an accountant or a bookkeeper, and they're like, this is an expense because I got to do my books for the tax return. That is a completely wrong view. Obviously, I'm a CPA, so I would say that's a wrong view. But you are gaining huge amounts of knowledge when somebody is always telling you how you actually did, and you need a strong accountant or bookkeeper to tell you that. So that's really the first place you want to go, is to have your bookkeeping done so regularly that you can look at it, and really see if you're profitable or if you're in a loss. Because if you're in a loss, then you can make some changes, right? You can stop doing something next month that you were doing the previous month to create the loss. So really important. That's the first thing you tackle, is that bookkeeping. Now, it can get deeper in an internal review from there. There might be a time when somebody needs to start building your financials and bumping them up against, and then bumping those up against benchmarked metrics. That's what we do for the agencies we work with. We'll put their financials in our own proprietary model and compare them to benchmarks. Those benchmarks start to really teach you. That's really advisory related things that we do for our clients. It starts to show them where they're off the mark on their agency benchmarks, and we can really help them know why, what are the patterns we see in other agencies. And so that's really a next level of something you'd want to pay for as you're growing larger, especially if you're getting up to 8 to 10 people in your agency. That's large enough to where you need somebody actually feeding you a lot of advisory financial information. So you want to step up that internal review of your financials at that point and stop managing your own bookkeeping, but do it with a professional that starts to teach you and tell you what some of those benchmarks and those numbers mean. You need education at that point. And so people don't realize a lot of times the accounting profession is an educating profession. We teach people what the numbers mean. We show them what they mean. And you need to really be committed to your firm throughout the year, not not just at tax time. Doing this at tax time is not a strategic thing at all. It is an investment to make. Then you can actually go even deeper in that to get an internal review, and you can hire our team to start running some of your company with you, right? We can become a controller or an accounting manager or a CFO, and we can step into a place where we start managing your cash, paying your bills, invoicing your clients. So, and then we really start to have a pulse on your cash and your internal reviews and your financials, and we're producing those for you on a monthly recurring rhythm. Of course, that investment is much greater than just the investment of monthly accounting, but still, it's valuable for a larger agency that has to know more about the complexity of their business. That means we have to be more involved, typically on a daily or weekly basis at that point. So there are a lot of different levels you can think about as you're trying to figure out, when do I need to do internal financial reviews of my business? And crap, I hope that's helpful. So I hope walking through those internal reviews and how they help you can help you know what next steps to take. And of course, we do this. So if this was helpful, reach out to our firm. Hit our firm at blummercpas.com, info@blummercpas.com, or fill out our contact page, and we'll reach out and start that relationship. Thanks so much.